fit. It looks like, yeah, it looks like Jangbi's going to win this. No! As mines. Oh my goodness. Absolutely boxer-esque here, if I may say so, without sounding cliched. Oh, man, and I don't know. This is like boxer versus reach here. I would say this kind of micro battle epicness. And Reach looks like, oh man, no, Boxer is going to take down this, the final Dragoon there. I'm going to call them Boxer and Reach from now on. They're playing so damn well with these old school, I mean, they're both playing high macro, but they're also playing micro like it's 2001. So from now on, they're going to be Reach and Boxer playing in the 2001 OSL Finals. Reach going to drop up 2 Dragoons on the top of the cliff, stopping this harassment at his protected natural. Look at Boxer coming out with this crazy Goliath Science Vessel Force, and this is the Metal Storm here that is going to be very hard for Reach to fall off. Can the Mantos hold it off? Jangbi, Reach Incarnate here has +1 attack. He's got his Arbiters out. Hopefully he's got Stasis because he's going to need to hold off a strong Terran push, but Boxer is going to need to be able to make this push count, though. He really needs another expansion, and right now he has a Science Vessel, yeah, just trying to hunt down some Arbiters to get an EMP off. Certainly a smart move. Main is mined out for the Protoss here, and Jangbi trying to gain some position here, but Boxer's doing a great job here of positioning himself in the middle. Man, I gotta say, both players are playing so manly that they've got to be reaching Boxer at this point. Old school manliness, and certainly a lot of it this game. Hold on for a second. Excuse me, and we've got ourselves Fantasy. I am going to call them Fantasy again. That was a brief 5-minute tribute to, to their inspirations, perhaps. Fantasy has now managed to get out into the center of the map and secure a decent position with mines and soon to be a bunch of turrets up there. That's going to be very annoying. Jangbi is going to be attacking that engineering bay, though, so the engineering bay, if it goes down, will stop Fantasy from building turrets. Jangbi, has gotten his signature unit, which is the High Templar, and that is something that every Terran player has much to fear. Jangbi does not have a shuttle to protect them, though, so they could be picked off by a couple of tank shots or vulture snipes. Certainly is not an impossibility. Jangbi actually has gotten himself around Fantasy's main force. Oh my goodness! Jangbi has just marched himself around, and this could mean that he could do a tremendous amount of damage. Fantasy's not sieged up. He's completely unprepared for this flank attack from Jangbi. So Jangbi going to go in here, almost all in though. If he can't do enough damage and Fantasy doesn't retreat, he's going to be in huge trouble. Look at that, triple stasis on the tanks. Fantasy is going to go for the gullet himself. Also, both players going for the throat here. This is what the Koreans would call E-hand timing here. E-hand timing, meaning that Jangbi, really, I think it's E-hand timing for Jangbi and for Fantasy. If they both cannot win this game at this time with this attack, they're going to lose for sure. But looks like Fantasy managing to get control over the natural expansion. Jangbi going to defend with a couple of storms. Maybe if he could pick off that Science Vessel would help. He can get his Arbiters over there and maybe force a couple of scans, but whoa! Looks like every single unit is stasis, but Jangbi is the one forced to retreat. Fantasy, I think, has got to be the winner of this battle here. Wow, Jangbi doing a good job. Oh no! Just as I say that, Jangbi loses a ton of Dragoons to that mine. And usually when there's an elimination fight like that, the Terran will win. Well, especially if the Protoss does not have a billion gateways at another expansion, which I don't think Jangbi has. You know, if Best was playing this out, he probably would have had, 10 gateways at the upper left, and he would be producing more units, and hence he wouldn't have to do this. He wouldn't have to retreat. But Fantasy just clogged up so many units in that main base, and of course Jangbi didn't use recall. He used stasis, and that made it impossible for him to march up. So it looks like Fantasy is going to gain the upper hand here. The natural expansion of Jangbi is down, but Fantasy, of course, does not have another expansion of his own, so let's not call this over yet. Fantasy really has just this one force. This game is getting really interesting because Jangbi is doing fine in terms of mining. There are the gateways that he's should be building here. Fantasy is not going to be able to reinforce well. I hope Jangbi gets a defense up, though, at the upper left, because as long as he can keep Fantasy away from another expansion, Fantasy is going to be reliant on just this one army he has right now, and he's not going to be able to rebuild much. So, Fantasy right now, all of his tanks are, well, actually, no, he's got another force actually in the middle, so I guess he still has enough in the bank to create this very formidable army. Can Jangbi manage to stop Fantasy from expanding and also prevent these two forces from killing him instantly? That is the question here. Sorry for these pauses. I'm trying to keep myself hydrated as I get into this crazy commentary more and more here. And wow, huge minefields being laid by Fantasy. Fantasy playing like he's, you know, Flash, you know, a year and a half ago when Flash defeated every Protoss out there. That's how good Fantasy is playing in this game, at least. And the only thing I would say he's doing wrong is that he probably should kill all these buildings in the main a little bit quicker, because these buildings are still producing, and the back expansion is still producing for Jangbi also, whereas if Fantasy just unsieged and A-moved, I think everything would be dead. Jangbi getting a couple storms off, but they're missed storms there. He has not been able this game to get his signature storms off. This has been something that's cost him dearly, instead going for Arbiters. I'm not sure if that was a great idea, rushing for Arbiters. He may have done better had he just done what he's good at, which is keeping those High Templar in those shuttles. And I gotta say, Fantasy has been doing an amazing job with the EMPs this game. I mean, I think every Arbiter of Jangbi's is EMP'd, and Jangbi cannot cast the spells he needs. He really needs to get some High Templar out, but I don't even know if he has the Templar Archives alive anymore. And that's gonna, you know, that's gonna be huge, because, you know, really, Jangbi is known for turning around games with that, and now his Templar Archives is unpowered, and it's going to die very soon. Jangbi is now being forced slowly into that corner. He still has not been able to win a single battle. There is Jangbi trying to rush this small group here, but looks like Fantasy's coming from the south. Oh, brilliant, brilliant reinforcement timing, and Jangbi is going to lose this game. That was the final straw there for Jangbi. He cannot come back. He knows it. And Fantasy finally has picked up a fourth. I think had Fantasy picked up a fourth slightly earlier, he could have probably sealed the deal a little bit more. 11 kill Dragoon, all on SCVs probably. And Fantasy is going to win the game. Wow, what an impressive game from Fantasy, I gotta say. This is really showing top-notch skill from this player, who's, you know, certainly statistically not as strong as some of the best-known players, but in this game alone, at least, has played very well. You know, I think Fantasy, as long as he gets rid of that, you know, build we don't mention against Zerg players, really has certainly tons of championship potential. He's actually best against Protosses, by the way, 63% win rate. That's pretty darn hard to achieve as a Terran. And GG coming from Jangbi. Incredible game. Thank you guys for recommending this game. Jangbi winning, Fantasy winning against Jangbi in an incredible show of micro and strategy here. And the young boxer has really shown in this game that he is, you know, that he is just someone who is going to be the king of gold one day instead of just the king of silver. And Jangbi, I'm going to say he wins the king of silver battle, so he gets that at least consolation prize. He has gotten yet another second place in a best of 2 tournament. So there's Bisu, by the way, being all Bisu, and he is going to be facing off against Stork in the next game. SKT1 is up 2-1. Let's see what happens in another epic matchup coming up next. Thanks for watching, guys. Cholera signing off.